أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome all of you to our lesson number 61 of Al-Nahu. We have started analyzing Surah Jinn and we are applying all the basic Nahu and Surf terms to the ayahs of Surah Jinn. Today, inshallah, we are going to review the ayahs from 1 to 4, and we are also going to do the Iraq for ayah number 5. So let's begin, inshallah. Yesterday, in the last session, we learned about few grammatical terms that we come across when we open Arabic grammar books and we do the Iraq. Like we learn about the Jawazan and Wujuban when these terms are used. We learn about Jumla Ibtidaiya, La Mahalla Laha in al-Irab. We also learn about Inna wa Akhwatuha, that they are called as Harf Tawkid Mushabba bil Fail. Then we learn about Damir Ashan. Also, we learn about one of the type of min, that min can be used as a tabi'i, that it is sometimes it indicates a part or portion of a whole. Also, we learn about fi mahalli. The term fi mahalli, when this is used, it is mostly used with the mabni words when they do not change their era, but they reflect certain grammatical rules in a particular sentence. So we also learn about the three types of or the common use of fi mahalli rafa, fi mahalli nasab, and fi mahalli jar. So we are quite familiar with the past tense chart of this Nasara, the Kabir chart for Nasara, Huwa Nasara, Huma Nasara, Hum Nasaru, Hiya Nasarat, Huma Nasarata, Hunna Nasarna, Anta Nasarta, Antuma Nasartuma, Antum Nasartum, Anti Nasarti, Antuma Nasartuma, Antunna Nasartunna, Ana Nasartu, Nahnu Nasarna. So this is a past tense chart for Nasara, and I have used this chart here because there are so many past tense verbs that we have come across in Surah Jinn. So it is a good recap for the beginners here. The first ayah was قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا. We have done this the era for this ayah, and here is the I have written all the era because the students have asked me to write all the era. So here you can see kul is fairly and as I did mention yesterday that when I'm going to use any new term, I am going to explain that term before I can use it in the grammatical analysis. So kul here is fairly mabni. We know that fairly mabni ala sukun. Here we can see the sukun. File damir mustatir wujuban. Now we know that what is wujuban and jawazan. We see wujuban when there are pronouns used other than huwa and here. So damir mustatir wujuban taqdiruhu anta wa jumla ibtidaiya la mahalla laha. Now you are used to I think you are now familiar with this term wa jumla ibtidaiya la mahalla laha. So kul is وجملة ابتدائية لا محل لها because no other sentence is preceding it. So as I already told you about this, that this is a jumla ابتدائية, a beginning sentence, and it doesn't have any place in the إعراب. لا محل لها من الإعراب. So this is a فعل أمر. وهي is a فعل ماضي مجهول مبني على الفتح. We have already done this as well. إلي is jar ومجرور with ila and ya, and it is متعلق بالفعل to وهي, that or we can call it متعلق بالفعل قبلها means قبل this word, and قبل this word we have this فعل وهي. أنه is أنه واسمها, and we know that it is, we also learn about that they are حرف توكيد مشبه بالفعل. والها is ضمير الشان. We also learn about ضمير الشان. So see how we are applying it here. ضمير الشان مبني على الفتح في محل نسب اسم إن. So here you can see the complete era for أنه. Last time we just learned about that what is أنه. It is just أنه اسمها, and اسمها is this attached pronoun ضمير متصل. This is, it is having a dhamma, so that is why we know that it is anna wa ismuha, and ism of inna or anna is always in the state of nasab. But we can see the dhamma here. That is why we are going to write fi mahalli nasab. You are now familiar with this term as well. Fi mahalli nasab, but because it is in the place of nasab, but it is not showing its i'rab. So it is fi mahli nasab ism innam. And the mirishan, we know that the mirishan is used when it is preparing the listener or the reader about something important, that something is important is going to be said in the sentence. So, like, قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ, that أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ, that the now the it is drawing attention to something important, that it has been revealed to me that a group of jinn listened. أنه استمع نفر من الجن. So أنه is again telling us that it is, we know that أن وأخواتها, they are all have a tawqid, like we already know that there is tawqid, there is emphasis. And this Damir Shan is again telling us that something important is going to be said in the sentence. So Damir Shan مبني على الفتح في محل نسب. It is مبني على الفتح because في محل نسب اسم إن. It has to be, we know that it has to be fatha for, because it is in the state of nasab, but it has dhamma because it is not showing its era. Then istama فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح again, and we can add here فاعل ضمير مستتر جوازا تقديره هو. Again, this is extra term, as you know that for the file ضمير مستتر جوازا, we know that for who and here it is allowed to have an outside doer. That is why جوازا term is used here. So الفاعل ضمير مستتر جوازا تقديره هو. Then we have kalima nafarum. قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر, that a group from the jinn, that a group from the jinn. Nafarum is file of istama'a. Min is again harfijar. للتبعيد, we know that now here this min is used for tabi'id. We know that tabi'id is for showing us that a part or a portion is used. So, minal jinni means from jinn, means not all the jinn, but few of them said, right? So that is why litabid is used. Harrak bil fath, harrika bil fath istim. Littikai sakinin, and we know that littikahi bisukun lam. Here, because it is happening, we know that littikai sakinin, when the meeting of the two sukuns happen. So we know that it is attached with the lam of the sukun. So that is why it has a haraka here. That is why we don't need to mention here that why this min of her harf of jar is this noon is getting a fatha. We don't need to mention, but if you want to know that why this fatha is happening, so we know that it is because itikar is sakining, the meeting of the two sukun. You can write it as harik, means it has the haraka, bil fatha, with the fatha, litakahi, because it is attached with bisukun lam, with the lam that has a sukun. So this is how you're going to translate it. But it is minal jinni. This simply it is harf of jar, and majroor. This uh, jinn is majroor bil kasra because of this harf jar, harf of jar. Al-jinsiyya li tarif mahiya. This is again, we are inshallah going to do the types of al, and then I'm going to explain this term jinsiya li tarif mahiya, that what is this al. Like you can say this is just giving a concept or idea of that um, generic, you can say a generic is used here. So inshallah we are also going to learn this type of al when we are going to do the types of al in the coming sessions. Then we have faqalu. We know that it's harf of at. Qalu is fi'l madi mabni ala dam litasali biwawi jama. We have already done this part that it is mabni ala dam because it is attached with vowel jama'ah. And wow here is damir muttasil mabni ala sukun. It is the attached damir and it is mabni ala sukun fi mahalli rafa file. This fi mahalli rafa, we know that we learned that we use this term when something is in the place of something. So here wow is in the place of the rafa. That is why in the and because we know that file is always marfu, that is why we are going to, and because it has sukoon, that is why we are going to write it here fi mahalli rafa file. And we know that this, we have also known about this alif or farika, that is to differentiate between the waw asliya, that is the root letter, and this waw jama'a. That is why this alif al farika is used. We can call it hafizat, fi rasm tafriq. Tafriq means to differentiate. And we know that what to differentiate between the asl waw, the waw of the root letters, and waw jama'a, that is used for here as a file. Then the next word is inna. Inna again is inna and na. In plus na is harf mushabba bil fi'l tawkid. And here na is the mim muttasil mabni ala sukun fi mahalli nasab ism inna. Again, we are going to write fi mahalli nasab because it is in the place of nasab, because we know that after in it has there should be ism of inna, and because na is in the place of ism of inna, that is why na should be nasab, because ism inna is nasab. So that is why we are going to say fi mahalli nasab ism inna. And this part is because in we have actually here three noon, and you can say that, or you can say two noon here, as if noon and saniya. Tawali and Nunat means because there is the extension of the noons. That is why we are just going to write it like this. You can just leave this term for now. Just remember that this is inna and isfuha, and inna is harf mushabbah bil fail, and na is the mim muttasil mabni ala sukun fi mahalli nasab is inna. Samena is fi'l madi mabni ala sukun. Again, you can see here. Same is here. This is mabni ala sukun. Leave this part. This is our file here, but we are going to write the Iraq for Samena, because we know that we already learned about the Fail Madi, that Fail Madi is Mabni al Fath, Mabni al Sukun, Mabni al Dam. So here this is Mabni al Sukun, and while this is attached with the Rafa Mutaharik, Damir Rafa Mutaharik. And what is the Damir Rafa Mutaharik? This is Na. This is Damir Muttasil. This is attached Damir. Mabni al Sukun, again it is Mabni al Sukun. And because it is file, so we are going to write here is fi mahalli rafa file. So this is how we are going to write the complete era for Samena. Otherwise, simply we can say that this is fairly madi mabni al sukun, and it is attached with the damir na. Then we have Quran. We can see the fathas here. Know that this is maf'ul bihi mansub, and we can also add here wa alamati nasbihi al-fatha al-zahira al-akhiri. We can write it this as well if you want to add here. Maful bihi mansub wa alamati nasbihi al-fatha al-zahira. We have already learned this part as well. Fatha al-zahira ala akhirihi means in the end. Ajaban is sifa li Quran, and because the sifa should match with the mawsuf. So we can see here they all match in the four properties. So ajaban is sifa to Quran. We have already learned about the surf of these words. You can go back and watch the recordings for these words. Then Yahdila Rushdi Faman Nabihi Walan Nushrika Bi Rabbina Ahada. This is our second ayah. It guides to the right course. Yahdi, it guides present tense. Here it is the present tense. You can see, and it is from hada yahdi, ihdi. It guides to the right course, ila rushdi, to the right path. Fa'amanna, and we have believed in it. In it means referring back to Quran. Yaud ala means referring back to Quran. وَلَن نُشْرِكَ بِرَبِّنَا أَحَدًا, and we will never associate with our Lord anyone. وَلَن نُشْرِكَ بِرَبِّنَا أَحَدًا. So this is a translation. So this is the era for ayah number 2, and we have already done this, but let's review. Yahdi is فعل مضارع مرفوع. We know that it's فعل مضارع مرفوع بالضمة المقدرة للثقل. We have already learned about these terms as لتعذر, للثقل means heavy on the tongue. So this فعل مضارع مرفوع بالضمة المقدرة للثقل. Because dhamma, we cannot see it, it is muqaddara, it is hidden because of the heaviness, because we cannot use it here, that is why it's hidden here. And we know that it is from huwa version. Wafa'al mustatir, we know that it's huwa, so jawazan will be written here. Wafa'al mustatir jawazan, taqdirhu huwa yaud ala Qur'anan, means referring back to or telling us about Qur'anan. So فعل مضارع مرفوع بالضمة المقدر لسكن فاعل مستتر جوازا تقديره هو يعود على قرآنا, going back to قرآنا. إلى is حرف جر. انتهى لغاية مكانها المجازة. Here again this term, leave this term. Inshallah we are also going to learn this term. Just remember that this is إلى حرف جر. Al-Rushdi, you know that it is majroor bil kasra, and this jar majroor fragment is muta'alliq bil fail to jumla. We know that when we see a muta'alliq or jar majroor fragment, and there is uh, you can say jumla failure before it, then it will be muta'alliq to that fail. That is why we are going to write muta'alliq bil fail wa jumla fi mahalli nasab sifa saniya li Quran. Also, we have learned that jumla failure, khabar can be a single word. It can be a sifa. So a jumla for the sifa, and inshallah we will see that as well in detail. So Rushdi is majroor bil kasra, wal jar majroor is muta'alliq to the fail. You can say yahdi here. You can leave this part. So inshallah we will see when we are familiar with these terms. Fa'amanna is fa here is harf atf, and amanna we know that this is fi'l madi mabni ala sukun. It is fi'l madi mabni ala sukun, and it is from family 4. Amana yuminu imanan, and here it is litasali bi damir rafa mutaharrik. You can add here. It is attached with the damir rafa mutaharrik. And here the file is na damir muttasil mabni al sukun fi mahalli rafa file. Again, we have to mention about this. You can cut down few of the words if you want to. You can only write like fa is harf atf, amana is fi'l madi mabni al sukun. You can leave this part litasali bi damir rafa mutaharrik, that it is attached with the damir. You know that this is damir rafa mutaharrik because it is the rafa and it is the haraka. We know that here the file is na. All right, so we can add wafa'ilu na damir muttasil. We know that it is attached pronoun. Mabni al sukun, it is mabni al sukun because it is in the place of the file and it is rafa. We are going to add fi mahalli rafa file. Fi mahalli rafa file. Then we have bihi. Bihi is again ba harf of jar, and he is our you can say it is damir muttasil mabni al kasr, and it is fi mahalli jar, and this term is muta'alliq bil fail to amanna. We can this fail is amanna. Again, walan is harf of atf, and lan we know that it's harf of nasab. Yahdi larajdi fa'amanna bihi walan nushrika. Nushrika is here. You can see it is from family 4. Ashraka yushriku ishrakan. Ashraka yushriku ishrakan. So it is means to associate. To associate. This noon is telling us that this is the nahnu. Ashrika, yushriku, then nushriku. It is not nushriku, it is nushrika. This is telling us that it is because of harf of nasr that it is changing it into a mansoob state. So we are going to write it fi'le mudari mansoob bilan because it is with this harf of nasr han. So fi'l mudari mansoob bilan, and now we are going to write about its file. Filu damir mustatir. We know that with all the other pronouns other than huwa and hiya, we are going to write wujuban. So damir mustatir wujuban taqdiruhu hidden nahnu. Nahnu is hidden here because noon is telling us that it is nahnu. So it is fi'l mudari mansoob bilan. File, its file is damir mustatir wujuban taqdiruhu nahnu. B Rabbina. Now it's very easy. We know that B is harf of jar and Rabbina is majroor bil kasra and it is also the mudaf. Mudaf to, this is because we know that all the attached pronouns that are attached with any ism, they are the mudaf ilayh to that ism. So this will be the mudaf and this is our mudaf ilayh. So this harf jar and Rab is majroor bil kasra and it is mudaf, and this mutalik it will be mutalik too because we know that when we see a jamajur fragment and if it is before the after the jumla failure here is mushrik, so then it will be mutalik bil fail. So it is mutalib bil fail to nushrik, or you can say mutalib bil fail qablaha means before it. Before it is nushrik jumla failure, so it is mutalib to that fail. And na is the main muttasil mabni ala sukun fi mahalli jar mudaf ilayh, because it is in the place of jar and it is mudaf ilayh. It is not showing its i'rab of jar. That is why we are going to say fi mahalli jar because it is mabni. As I mentioned, this fi mahalli is always used with the mabni terms. We already learned it. So because it is mabni al sukun, it is not showing its i'rab of jar, the kasra. That is why, because we know that it's fixed, that is why we are now going to use the term fi mahalli. And we know that it is in the place of jar. That is why we are going to write it fi mahalli jar. And what is it? What is the its position in this sentence? It is mudaf ilayh. So we are going to write it mudaf ilayh. Ahadan, as the double fathas are telling us that it will be in the state of nasr. It is in the state of nasr and it will be a maful bihi. Maful bihi mansoob. You can write it maful bihi mansoob wa alamati nasbi al fatha az-zahira ala akhirihi. You can add here. You can leave this part. Uh, inshallah, we will learn about this part. But jumla matufa ala ma qablaha aidan, that this is jumla matuf because it was after the harf of atf. Wow, that is why the whole jumla is matuf. We have learned about. Let me give you a brief introduction to this. We already learned about the atf, the harf of atf and the matuf after that. So after harf of atf, everything is matuf. So after harf of atf, this whole thing is a matuf. So this is because it is a complete jumla. So we are going to say this is jumla matuf. Matuf to what? Ala ma qablaha. Alam qablaha means before everything, before that, it has everything before this wow, it is matuf to that one. So you can add this part, wa jumla matufa ala ma qablaha, before this. So before everything, this is yadi la rushdi fa aman nabi matufli, and this is harf of at, and this is matuf, this whole jumla failure. We already did this serve for Amana. It is from family 4, Amana Yuminu. Now, here Ayah number 3, and it teaches means وَأَنَّهُ, and it teaches that exalted is the تعالى جد ربنا ما اتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا. So this is ayah number 3. We already did the Iraq for that as well. And it teaches that exalted is the nobleness of our Lord. He has not taken a wife or a son. We did the Iraq, we did the surf for Ta'ala and Ittakhaza as well. The root letters for Ta'ala are Ain, Lam, and Waw. And for Ittakhaza is Hamza, Kha, and Zal. The Iraq for this is again you see here وأنه wow is harf of atf وأن ismuha is this. We can also see this as anna, and this who is the mirshan, because something it is telling us that there are two, you can say there are two emphasis in this sentence, because it is starting with anna. These anna and akhwatuha are also called as harf tawkid, you know that. So double emphasis is put here with this Damir Shan who and this Anna. You can simply write down like this, Wow harf atf or Anna wa ismuha, or you can take it as harf tawkid and this is Damir Shan. That means something important is going to be said in the sentence. So it is that exalted, that Annahu, that exalted is the nobleness of our Lord Ta'ala Jaddu Rabbina. Rabbina, and he has not taken a wife or a son. Mattakhaza sahibatan wala walada. So again, now see ta'ala. Ta'ala is فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح المقدر لتعذر. Here again, you cannot see the fatha because it is again لتعذر. We have already learned about this as well, because it just it is just hidden because it cannot be written here. So it is heavy on the tongue, or listicle is heavy, and لتعذر is means there is not the possibility of putting the fatha here. Then jaddu wa fa'il wa marfu, it is also as mudaf. We know that jaddu is, we are not writing here the mim musannad takdiru, because we can see that, because this is the huwa version, so we can see an outside doer here with this marfu state. Jaddu is a file here, and it is in the state of rafa, so it is marfu, and it is also a mudaf. It is also mudaf because it is you can see rabbina, it is in the state of jar, so this is mudaf to this rabbi, this is mudaf ilay, and this is majroor, and it is also mudaf aidan. Here see, you can see mudaf aidan means also it is mudaf. Why? Because you can see here na. Okay, so this is attached na, the mir muttasil here, so you can write it like that. Last time in the last we did this, see here, just like that, bi rabbina, because it is the mim muttasil mabni ala sukun, and it is fi mahali jar mudaf ilay to rabbi. In the same way you are going to do this. This is mudaf ilay majroor, and it is mudaf as well, and then again it is mudaf ilay. So it rabbi is mudaf ilay to jaddu, and also mudaf to na. uh, I hope it is not confusing the beginners. So see this, Jaddu and Rabina. Sometimes doing the grammatical analysis is very overwhelming, but inshallah with practice it will be easy for us to understand all these terms, and inshallah I hope that with the practice you will be familiar with all these grammatical terms that we are using here. So Jaddu is file marfu, it is also mudaf, and Rabbina is mudaf ilay, majroor, and you can break this down as the mudaf and mudaf ilay again. Ma here is ma nafiya. Ittakhaza, ittakhaza, he has not taken. Ma nafiya, فعل ماضي again اتخذ يتخذ اتخاذا فهو متخذ. It is family 8. And اتخذ يتخذ اتخاذا فهو متخذ. And you can see here this is فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح. It is مبني على الفتح. You can see you can add here الفاعل ضمير مستتر جوازا تقديره هو if there is no outside door. So you can add here الفاعل ضمير مستتر جوازا because we can as I mentioned جوازا only use the هو in your version. So you are going to write it جوازا تقديره هو. Then we have صاحبة. صاحبة. Here he has not taken a wife. مفعول به منصوب. You can add here مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. Then we have wala, walada. It is harf of atf and la is zaid, or it is for tawqeed because it already mentioned that mattakhaza sahibatan wala walada. Ma is already nafiya. So la is again giving tawqeed or emphasis to the sentence that it has not taken a wife or nor he has taken a son. So walada is matuf ala sahiba. You can say because it is joined with harf of atf to sahibatan and both are in the state of nasab. So it is matuf to sahibatan. Now let's see the fourth ayah. وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ يَقُولُ سَفِيهُنَا عَلَى اللَّهِ شَطَطًا. And that a foolish one has been saying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala an excessive transgression. وَأَنَّهُ again, anna with the mirushan who. That means this whole sentence again is an important sentence because emphasis has been put because of this harf tawkid and this damir shan. We learned about afal nakisa. Here you can see kana, yakulu, safihuna. So kana is afal from afal nakisa. We know that they are afal nakisa because they lack the action. They have time, but they lack the action. And we have already done this part as well. You can go back and watch the recording for the explanation of afal nakisa. The era for annahu, again, as mentioned, that this is anna wa ismuha, waul atf, and this is harf mushabba bil fail, and ha is a damir shan, and this whole thing you can say mamni al dam, you can write it down for who mabni al dam fi mahalli nasab because it is in the place of nasab because it is ism anna. Kana, you can write the era for kana. This is faili madi naqis. It is mabni al fath because after telling that what they are, you are going to write its i'rab. It is mabni al fath because it is always fixed on the fatha. That is why it is fixed. So we are going to write mabni al fath. Wa ismuhu damir musarrif jawazan taqdiru huwa because it is not mentioned here, so it is hidden. We are going to write wa ismuhu damir musarrif jawazan taqdiru huwa, and it is referring to safihu, that means the foolish one among. That is kana yakulu safihuna. So yaud ala safi means going back to, or it is referring to safihu. Yakulu. Look at the word yakulu. It is the present tense. It is faili mudari. Faili mudari, how we are going to write the complete i'rab for faili mudari. We will say faili mudari. You can see the dhamma here. That means it is marfu. Faili mudari marfu. Then you are going to write the alama. Wa alamat rafi ad-dhamma az-zahira ala akhirih. You can add that part as well. And we will need to add file the musal is fihi jawazan taqdiru huwa if there is no outside doer. But we can see the outside safihuna. Safihu is the dhamma. You can see this isim that is the outside doer for yakulu. That is why we are not going to add this part because we have an outside doer for yakulu. So safihuna, this is mudaf mudaf ilayhi because this is ism and any attached pronoun with that will be its mudaf ilayhi. So this is safina, the whole idafa construction is a file. It is file marfu. Safiyu is a mudaf and na is the min muttasil mabni ala sukun في محل جر مضاف إليه, because it is in the place of jar, and it is because it is مبني على السكون. So that is why we are going to write في محل. في محل jar, because it is in the place of jar. So the foolish among us said, because this is the file, outside file, we are not going to add this part. If there is no outside file, we are going to add this part in our Arab. Alallahi is just jar and majroor fragment, and it is mutalik bil fail to yakulu. Shatata. Shatata is a maful bihi mansoob. You can see this just like the other Quran and Ajaba. It is shatata. All the words are ending with the maful bihi, and the maful bihi is always mansoob because it is a detail of the sentence. And with that, you can add walamati nasbi al fatha zahira ala akhirihi. This part you can add. مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه على فتحة على آخره الظاهرة, because it is in the end. Alhamdulillah. So now we are going to start with our ayah number 5. وَأَنَّا زَنَنَّا أَلَّن تَقُولَ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. So here you can see this ayah. And we had thought that mankind and the jinn would never speak about Allah a lie. So this is the meaning of this ayah, and we can see here uh, that how the jinns are explaining each thing, everything that they learned while listening to the Quran to a group of other jinns when they are meeting in the company. So now they are telling them that we have thought that the mankind and jinn would never speak about Allah a lie, because they said that their foolish one means this might be their leader that has been saying about Allah all the lies, and now they are saying that anna zananna, and we have thought that mankind and the jinn would never speak about Allah a lie, that allan takula alinsu waljinu Allahi kaziba. So look at this word zananna. We are going to do this word zananna. The root letters are Dwat, Noon, and Noon. And we know that this is from the irregular surf. This is from Mudaf. We know that when the second and the third root letters are same, it is the Mudaf. It is from Nasra Yansuru, Zanna Yazunnu, Nasra Yansuru, Zanna Yazunnu. So it is from this Mudaf family. And this is from Nasara Yansuru. Allan takulu insu wal jinnu alallahi kaziba. So let's see now from for Zanna wa akhawatuha. Let's have a brief introduction to this Zanna wa akhawatuha. So what are these Zanna wa akhawatuha? They are verbs, you can say, that enter upon the mubtada and the khabar, and they are called the af'alul qulub. They are called af'alul qulub because they change. So what do they change? These verbs make the mubtada and the khabar into the nasab state, where the mubtada becomes the first maf'ul and the khabar becomes their second maf'ul. So af'al tadkhul ala mubtada wa khabar. These are the af'al that enter mubtada and khabar. وتسمى أفعال القلوب, and they are called أفعال القلوب. تنسب هذه الأفعال المبتدأ والخبر. They make nasab, they make them a nasab from مبتدأ and خبر. ويسمى المبتدأ, and مبتدأ will be called مفعولها أول. They are مفعول أول. And ويسمى الخبر مفعولها ثاني, and the خبر becomes the second مفعول. So they're part, the مبتدأ and خبر, because they are changed into maful awal and maful sani. That is why they are called afal kulub, because it is from kalb and means to change, to flip. So that is why, because their you can say their position is changed. Now the mubtada khabar becomes maful awal and maful sani. That is why the zanna wa akhwataha are called afal qulub. So this is just a brief introduction of Zanna wa akhwatuha. Also, we know that for Jumla Ismiya, that it is consist of Mubtada, Khabar, and Mutalik bil Khabar. So just a quick recap that a Mubtada can be just single ism, and a Mubtada can be a fragment, ism, and ism fragment like inna wa ismuha. Now this Mubtada is changed into inna wa ismuha. It can be Masdar Muawwal or it can be Harf Nasab wa Ismuha. So these are types of Mubtada that you usually see. A khabar can be Mufrad, a khabar can be Jumla Ismiya, a khabar can be Jumla Failiya. Then we have Mutaliq bil Khabar, another part of Jumla Ismiya. Mutaliq bil Khabar can be Jar Majroor, it can be Zarf, and it can be Zarf Idafa. So this is just a quick recap for all Jumla Ismiya. Components, Mubtada, Khabar, and Mutaliq bil Khabar. Mubtada can be one of these, Khabar can be one of these, and Mutaliq bil Fa'il can be one of these. Uh, I wanted you to have a quick recap of this because we are going to see lots of Jumla Ismiya that will have different types of Mubtadas, different type of Khabar, and different types of Mutaliq bil Khabar. So it is important to review all the components of Jumla Ismiya. A Khabar can be, as mentioned, it can be Mufrad, it can be a mufrad ism marfu, it can be jumla ismiya, it can be jumla failiya, and we have seen jumla failiya as a khabar in the previous ayah that we did for Surah Jinn. And then we have Shubu Jumla. Shubu Jumla, it can be Zarf, it can be Jar Majroor. So these are types of khabar that you come across while doing the I'rab. A khabar can be Jumla Failure, a khabar can be Jumla Ismiya, a khabar can be just simple Mufrad Ism, and it can be a Shibhu Jumla, inshallah. So we'll see that with I'rab of the fifth ayah that وأن again you can see it is the harf atf and simply ism anna and ismuha, or you can call it harf mushabba bil fail, and na is damir muttasil mabni ala sukun fi mahalli nasab ism anna. Then we have zananna. How you are going to write the i'rab for zananna? Fail madi mabni ala sukun, and leave this part because it is quite advanced term, but you can see al noon saniya litasali bi damir rafa mutaharrik na, because we have three noons here, because zanan is the root and na, so you can see there are three noons, so two noons are joined together, so we see this shadda here. So na damir muttasil mabni ala sukun fi mahalli rafa fa'il wa jumla fi mahalli rafa khabar. We just I just mentioned here that a khabar can be in the in the terms of jumla failure. So here you see jumla failure as a khabar. So this zananna jumla fi mahalli rafa khabar an. Here this an, we have, if we have this inna wa akhwatuha in any sentence, we see there ism and ismu anna and khabar inna. So what is the khabar here? Khabar can be mufrad, khabar can be jumla failure, khabar can be jumla ismiya. So here this is jumla failure as the khabar of an. Here then we see wa anna zananna allan, and here just remember that this is a mukhaffafa, means it is the khafif, and it is without shadda, no shadda here, so it is khafif means weak. Shadda is dropped here, and ismuha damirushan mahzuf. Like if you want to add this, because we have this damirushan mahzuf means hidden, but you can simply call it an um, harf of nasab. Then learn harf of nasab again. It is here you can see learn takulu. Takulu is فعل مضارع منصوب بلن here وعلامة نسبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. You can add this part takula Takula is nasab. You can see here it is because of harf of nasab lan. Before it, there is a quite advanced era for this whole part allan takulu, but allan takula. But I don't want to go into detail for now. So just see here that this takula is mansoob because of this lan harf nasib. فعل مضارع منصوب بلن and you can add here وعلامة نسبه فتحة الظاهرة على آخره. So and we had thought that mankind and the jinn would never speak about Allah a lie. So وأنا ظننا, this is from أفعال القلوب, we just learned. And ألن تقولا, this is a فعل مضارع منصوب بلن. الإنسو, we know that the next word after the فعل مضارع, if it is in the state of rafa, it will be our file, our outside doer for huwa. So that is why we are not adding here any damir mustatir, because we have an outside doer al-insu, and because jinn is attached with ins with the harf of atf, so it will be matuf to matuf ilay al-insu, and this whole thing will be our file. Well, jinnu matuf ala ism qablihi, and it is marfu bil atf because it is marfu bil atf because it is attached with al insu with the harf of atf. So both share the same i'rab. Then we have alallahi, simply jar majrur fragment, and it is, you can see it is muta'alliq bil fail to the fail that is before it, and it is the kula. Kaziba, again, like the other verbs like Quran and Ajaba, and the other verbs that we see, Shatata, it is Kaziba, Maful bihi, Mansub, Alamati Nasbi, Fatha Zahira, ala akhirihi are the complete era for Kaziba. So this is Maful bihi Mansub, Alamati Nasbihi, just add here, Alamati Nasbi al Fatha, Zahira, ala akhirihi. So this is the complete era for the fifth ayah وَأَنَّا ظَنَنَّا أَن لَّن تَقُولَ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا, and we have thought that mankind and jinn would never speak about Allah a lie. So this is the era for or the grammatical analysis of ayah number 5, and inshallah I'll see you in the next session. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.